Okay, so as I said, you'll see in the class tools sample wireframe. You're welcome to click on that after class, during class, and give it a whirl, use it. But I'm going to take you through a couple examples and reasons for wireframes. So let's go on over to my screen. Okay, so yesterday we went over keyword research, why it's imperative that you get your keyword research done before you ever build your website. The research phase is absolutely #1, and it has to be done. Whenever clients come to our internet marketing agency, they either are required to have it done by us or someone else, but it must be in place before we ever move on to planning their website, building their website, tweaking their website. Because if you're not looking at everything that touches the web for your company or your venture or your idea through the keyword research glasses, you're just going to miss your target. So I've pulled up side by side a sample keyword spreadsheet along with a sample wireframe spreadsheet. So we are going to go through these and understand how it is that we put these live on the web and how we build them. So like I said, everything starts with keywords. Your pages, your images, your videos, and you have to build your website and plan your website in a spreadsheet called a wireframe. Call it whatever you want, but wireframe is what we were using with all of our clients, and it's imperative. It'll save you headaches from going back and redoing your website. It'll show you things. It'll teach you things. So again, we have that sample website, our sample wireframe. You're all welcome to use just by going over to the class tools, and you'll see there's a sample wireframe. You can set your own spreadsheet up. So let's go through this. And these can change based on the client, based on the website, but this is going to give you, a start. You want to start building your website page by page, and usually the first page is going to be your home page. And you'll see that I have some headings here for you. Menu page name, meaning what are the visitors going to see when you type, when they navigate to your website in the menu, the navigation. Because the page might be named something different behind the scenes. So you start with, what are your pages going to be named for the viewer, for the visitor? So you usually have a home page, you have a services or a product page or a set of pages. You probably have your blog page, you probably have a contact us page. So you map those out in the first column. You're welcome to, and this is again preference, and you can change it for however your mind works and your organization works. But if you had a sub-page under blog, which a lot of websites do, they have different blog categories, then you could put them in a second column, and you could break it out by what's an actual page versus what's a category. So we might have a blog about training, a blog category about training. We might have a blog category for services, events. So you start filling this in by drilling it down, planning your website pages and categories. Again, the next column is what it might be named behind the scenes, or your, you might call this home, you might call it welcome. Your blog might be called news or blog. For some various reasons, sometimes it's named something different behind the scenes. I advise trying to keep it the same for organization. The next column, again, behind the scenes, what's the subpage name or the subcategory name, and the URL. This is important. For your URL is designed with SEO in mind, your keywords in mind. So your blog might actually be .com/internet-marketing-blog, because you want the keyword internet marketing to be in there if we're using the example of Internet Girl Friday or any other internet marketing agency. So this is where you plan out, based on your keyword research, your keyword analysis, which would be back in your keyword spreadsheet, what you're going to, too many wireframes open here, what you're going to name your URL or your slug. So again, this column is very important to map that out ahead of time, because then when you start building your website, you already have this thought through, you know it's polished as much as possible. This way, if you either do it yourself, you do it in an organized fashion, or if you hand it to your web designer, your web programmer, they have a map of exactly how this is supposed to be built. And if it's not built to these specifications, then you can go back and say, hey, you didn't name this page correctly, you didn't use the URL, I'm going to be losing out on some SEO juice, so fix it. So this is the blueprint for your website. In the case of an agency, we always document what SEO was in place for a website, because a lot of clients come to us that already have websites. We have to tell them, we have to document what was handed to us. We have to have a benchmark for their SEO. A lot of times it's missing, and we document that, or it's just bad or wrong. And then we go back in and we put in the green rows what it should be. So that's your sample wireframe under Pages tab. You'll see at the bottom that we have a few different tabs, categories. We map out our blog categories here first and foremost. Some clients have thousands of blog categories, and we need to map them if we're building a new site or fixing an old site, to understand, again, what are the URLs going to be? How is this all going to work together? We typically take our keyword research and we paste it into our wireframe after we've completed the research phase, so that we have it right here to go back and forth and grab keywords when we're trying to think of a good URL or page name or blog post or category. And a lot of websites come with sliders or main images on their home page, so we also map those out to show what's the image name, because image name should be done with SEO in mind, with a keyword. You should not have logo.jpg on your website. It should be internet-marketing-services.jpg on your website. Again, everything that touches the web has to be planned, and the SEO and the keyword research has to be utilized. Some, or a lot of websites, use videos, and we also document videos in the sample wireframe, or in the wireframe, using the sample right now that you're welcome to use. I'm just going to clean this up, and we'll go to a real live wireframe. I'm going to close out the one we were on. Okay, so just using this one as an example that's been developed, you'll see that there's a lot of pages that have been thought through, sub-pages, the URLs. You can see these are all keyword rich. Keyword research competitive analysis is the URL for this page. Search engine marketing, search engine optimization. Instead of service 1, service 2, service 3, you really want everything in your wireframe and in your website planning to have keywords everywhere. Blog titles, blog URLs, page titles, page URLs, category titles, category URLs, image names, video names. It's very important, because it's just going to help you outrank your competition. It's going to help you bring in more traffic, and it's competitive out there now. It's not what it was 5 years ago, and it definitely isn't what it was 10 years ago, when you could just put up a website and 9 out of 10 times your competitors didn't even have a website yet. So, this is today's internet marketing, and you have to plan this out just as if you're building a 30,000 square foot house with a blueprint. You've got to spend the time, spend the money getting this done, or do it yourself. You can also add in columns for word count. You should always have a minimum of 300 to 400 words on your pages and posts, so that the search engines decide that your your pages have relevant content and enough content for readers. You can determine whether the page is a no follow or a do follow. So you can really add in a lot of these areas that you need to plan ahead of time. As you'll see, image name, alt name for the image description. We'll be filling all these things in. Now, once you're done, you would go to building your website, which is going to be Monday's class. The next class, day 3, will be how to build your website from your wireframe. So again, if anyone has questions, I want you to drop them off in the chat box below, or on any of the sites that you're watching this right now, and we'll definitely get to them now, or we'll email you an answer. Let's see what else we can go through in here. Video, sliders. So you'll see sliders. We've actually mapped out how big does the image have to be, so we can just quickly tell our graphic designer, by the way, we need a new slider, 441 by 269, hand it back to us, and then we document it, we upload it into the website, we make sure that it's named properly, we make sure that everything that touches it has SEO in mind and keyword research applied. You can also keep your site notes, your colors, your company name, anything that might also be added to the site repetitively that you need to go grab. So it's a great resource. We use this multiple times per day on every client that we work with. So it's imperative that the wireframe is in place, that it's done properly. And let's see another one here. This is for a new site that's being built in January. We've got pages, we've got sub pages. We'll see that we have actually said that the home page is an actual page, but the pets menu item that the visitors will see in the menu is actually a category. Let's see if we can pull that site up to show you what we're talking about. So again, we've determined that home is a page, and we've determined that a few others like events and coaching are pages, but the blog category will be for pets and videos and recipes and seniors and causes. But what the visitor sees is just a nice navigation of all those names. So for example, home, pets, recipes, seniors, consulting, products, events, causes, events, excuse me, causes, contact, and these are blog posts. These are blog categories. But you build it and you decided what it was in the wireframe first, and then you go make it live. I'm going to pause here for a second and see if anyone has any questions. Okay, let's see. We've got how do you go about changing the current image names so it uses your keywords? It's a great question. I'll go right into WordPress and I will show you that. How do you go about changing the current page name so it uses your keywords? I'll address that as well. What else would you need to change besides image and page names so it's SEO appropriate? Okay, so let's go to the back end of a website. We solely use WordPress for our websites. It makes Google and all the other search engines very happy to see the code set up this way. It's easier for the client to then manage their site if they so choose. Once we set everything up, we train them on how to use it, and they can manage their own site, and which is different from a lot of agencies that want to build something that you don't even know how it's built, you don't know how to use it, you have to go through them to make any changes. We don't like to set up our clients that way. We want to empower them from small business to large, and we specifically use WordPress. So I'm going to show you that tomorrow. Actually Monday, you'll have a lot more introduction to WordPress. But let's go behind the scenes. And this is your typical WordPress dashboard with your control panel up and down the left-hand side. So, like I said, a lot of clients come to us with websites already built, and we understand we're going to have to go backwards and fix things. That's what we're here for. So it happens pretty frequently that we have to go back and change page names and change image names. So to answer your question about how to change an image name, you would go to the media library. And just a really quick one for a lot of you that are going to be doing this yourself. Let's go to, let's see, healthy snacks. Let's pretend this holistic website is done. It's not. It's going to be built in January. But let's say we realize, oh, this picture isn't named properly. We're gonna rename it. So let's grab this picture and just say save image as. And we can go to our desktop, and let's just say that it was named 300 by 225 JPEG. And we want to rename that. So we're going to go to our media library, and we're going to add the new image. It's basically a copy of the image we just downloaded, because we want to make sure that it's named properly before we upload it. So I'm going to click Add New and go back to the desktop and find that image, and I'm going to rename it the proper name. Healthy snack recipes, cinnamon, those are all keywords for this image, and I'm going to upload it with the proper name. So now you'll see that the file name stored in WordPress has keywords in it that would drive people to this actual healthy snack recipe. Okay, we're not done. We have to add the SEO. We have to SEO our image up. So the alternate text, you can simply copy the title if you like, or you can type something different. The description is going to be something that you write for the search engines and for the humans that are searching for items such as this. So you've got your title that WordPress needs, you've got your alternate text, which in case some viewers don't have their computers set up properly, and the image won't show. This will show instead, so they know it's supposed to be there. You don't need a caption unless you're going to actually want a label or caption displayed beneath the image. Typically, you're not going to use that. The description, you're going to want to add a couple sentences. Okay, and then you would just grab the URL right here before you hit save. You're going to copy it so that we can go back and update that image on the blog post. Once you hit save all changes, the new image is ready to be used in the website. It's got its SEO added, so it's SEO rich, and you can just go back to that post. Let's find that one, this one, edit. And you're going to find that image. You can either click the image. This is going to be the easy way for those of you that don't know HTML coding. You can either click the image and click the edit icon and go to advanced settings and paste in the new image name right there in the source and hit update. Or for you HTML coders, you can just go in and replace it in the code by copying and pasting there. Once we hit update, it's done. So that's how you can edit an image. Now let's say you have an image that, go back to the library, is pasted 10 times in your website or used 10 times in your website. You know, literally coded in 10 different places, and you don't want to go back and edit those pages in 10 different places. What you have to do with WordPress specifically, if you're going to upload an image with the same exact name, but you just maybe want to change the image, you know, better quality or a different view, but it's the same exact name, you have to delete the original, or else if you upload a duplicate image with the same name or any file with the same name, it's going to add a -1, -2, -3 at the end of it. It's going to add versions, and now you'll still have to go replace the URL in all those places. So as a tip, when you're going to upload something with the same exact name, delete the original first, or at least know that you have to delete the original. If you want to upload the second, it's going to add a -1 at the end. You know, then go back and delete the original, and then quickly rename the second one you just uploaded to remove that -1 so that you don't have a copy. Okay, so to change pages, you would do the same thing. Again, we constantly have clients that come to us, they're very excited, they just got their website done, now they want to promote it, and they come to us to get their top-notch SEO and all kinds of implementation services, and we have to burst their bubble that, hey, your web designer was great, they made it look fabulous, but the search engines aren't going to find you. It's like building a billboard in a forest. No one's going to see your site. So we typically have to go back and redo pages, redo image names. So to go back and redo a page name, this is very easy. Now, I'm going to show you something. Again, this is going to reinforce why you need the wireframe in place. Let's say you have 100 pages on your website, and you go through and it's you know, you're going to change 5 page names, and one of your page names is linked everywhere. For example, if we edit our contact us to be internet-marketing-contact and then click OK, that's going to break any of those buttons on the website that says contact us here, contact us for a consultation, contact and ask us your question. Now none of those links work because it's pointing to a URL that ends with contact, and now we're updating the page. But if we had our wireframe in place and we had our CRM or our conversion items mapped out, we would just have to go through that list and say, oh, well, our contact page is linked to these 3 pages or these 10 pages, so we just have to work our way through. So that wireframe is your thought process and takes a lot of the thought out of it when you're trying to remember, oh my God, where did I have all those pages linked to? Where, you know, am I going to miss something? So it's very easy to edit a page URL simply by clicking on the edit URL in any page. But if you have your wireframe in place, you won't miss out on any broken links. Of course, you can always run your 404 broken link checker and then go back, but having the wireframe in place is a much better process that we encourage and utilize completely. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and drop them off in the chat box. We're going to wrap up our wireframe training for today. Again, I'm going to show you, where's our live classroom pages? Oh, and the other question, what else would you need to change besides images and page names so it's SEO appropriate? Your content. So your images, um, your images, your videos, even if you're giving away a PDF as a freebie or a white paper, instead of having it freebie1.pdf uploaded to your website and connected to some pages or some email marketing campaign, you know, name it with a keyword. Because Google's going to return images and videos and events and everything that's on your site named with keywords. Google's going to return that on page 1 of Google. So that's what you want. That's the goal here. And the more that you have surrounding the keywords that you're going after, the more you're going to be on page 1 of Google and start pushing your competition down. So let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, and your content. Your content is a whole animal in itself with internet marketing. Google's going to come through, as will the other search engines, and their robots are going to come through and they're going to say, okay, what are you trying to make your website about? Are you trying to go after internet marketing? What's your page name? What does your content say? What are your image names? And your content needs to be clear and concise and relevant to that keyword, and they want to see that keyword in your content a minimum of 3 times. You don't want to put it in 50 times. That's overdoing it, and they're going to, give you a thumbs down for that. But you want to have it set up properly in your content as well, and we'll go over that in a future class. But just as a quick tip, you want to have it in your H1 tag, your title, your main title that readers see on your page. You want to have it bolded. You want to have it italicized once. You want to have it hyperlinked back to your home page or another page in your site to show the robots that you're calling these items out, because this is what you're promoting on your website. Okay, is Wireframe like the sitemap? Is it a program or just a sitemap? Okay, so when we use Wireframe, the word Wireframe, it is a blueprint for your website, and we personally use Google Drive spreadsheets to build it. Before Google Drive, it was built in Excel spreadsheets. Now that we're in the cloud, we use it in Google Drive spreadsheets. A sitemap is similar. A sitemap is out there on your website for the search engine specifically to come through and see how your website is built. It's an actual file that you create either through a WordPress plugin or manually, and then you connect it in Google Webmaster Tools so that the search engines are coming out to your site, they're reading your sitemap, and you're telling them, this is how my website is set up, this is what I want you to report back to your boss, the Google gods. So the wireframe is the planning stage. The sitemap is the end result. I hope that answers the question. And okay, so just to go over the page here again, you can come here at any time and see the class schedule and the YouTube channel for the recorded version. We'll update this the day of and the day before and the day after. You can check out our internet marketing team if you need help. And you can also check out our extensive 12-week internet course. Oops. And you can also use the class tools, sample wireframe, set up a copy for yourself. So I will close down the video portion of this training, and we will leave the chat room open. I'll continue to answer some questions. Let me switch back here. Okay. Another question, is Google Drive the cloud? The cloud, yeah. It's in the cloud, yes. Google Drive is in the cloud, meaning that you don't need to access it right on your computer. You just, for example, I'll be traveling for the next 3 weeks to family for the holidays, and I won't be taking my big 32-inch monitor and my hard drive to Connecticut with me, but I'll be taking my laptop. Well, how do I get to all my files? They're in the cloud. They exist on the internet in Google land. Wherever their servers are, their bunkers of computers, so that as long as I have internet connection, as long as I have an internet browser, Chrome is what we use, we can access our files and all of our trainings and our protocol through Google Drive. So yes, it is in the cloud. Technically, WordPress is in the cloud too. So there's two versions of WordPress. WordPress has a hosted solution. You can install the WordPress software on your own domain, on your host. So you can go to wordpress.com and set up something like mysite.wordpress.com. It's not a great URL to have because you're pointing to people to the WordPress site, and you don't get to have full control over your website as if you went to something like HostGator or GoDaddy and bought a domain and then set up hosting for about $7 a month and installed WordPress right in your hosting account so that you can put WordPress on mysite.com and have full control over it. So yes, they're in the cloud technically as well because you don't need software on your computer. You can access it anywhere you want. We are a 100% in the cloud virtual team, except for a couple programs that we use like Photoshop or GIMP that we do have on our computers. But if for some reason a computer went down, a main computer that we use, we don't lose anything. We have all our communications on Skype. We have all of our client files, folders in Google Drive, all of our training in Google Drive. We have a project management system in the cloud. So everything's on the internet in the cloud, so that we don't have to have local offices or computers that, you know, if they break down, that we lose anything. So, okay, we're going to wrap up the video portion. As I said, you're welcome to chat here. We check back in here frequently. We'll be looking at it for the next few minutes. And tomorrow we don't have a class. Friday, December 7th. Monday, December 10th will be our next class, and that's one of the fun classes because we'll be designing WordPress websites and getting our hands dirty behind the scenes and setting some things up. So let's wrap this up, and I'll see you next time.